Appearing nude in a film can have varied consequences for actors, both positively and negatively. The film adaptations of the erotic romance book series 50 Shades of Grey gained unprecedented mainstream popularity, sparking controversy and intrigue due to its explicit sexual content. The trilogy, which ultimately earned over $1 billion worldwide, catapulted actors Dakota Johnson and Jamie Dornan to fame. Despite the discomfort and bad innuendos during the press tour, Johnson, the daughter of actors Don Johnson and Melanie Griffith, expressed no regrets about her breakout role in 50 Shades of Grey. Now known for her roles in The Lost Daughter and Netflix's Persuasion, Johnson has also established her own production company, Tea Time Pictures. Dornan, too, shares a similar sentiment with Johnson, acknowledging the international recognition the films brought them. Despite struggling with being recognized as his character Christian Grey, Dornan has successfully ventured into well-received films like A Private War and Belfast. While acknowledging the impact of the 50 Shades franchise on his career, he recognizes the need to move beyond it. Actress Sydney Sweeney faced discussions about her body and choices, particularly concerning nude scenes in the HBO series Euphoria. Despite criticisms of unnecessary nudity, Sweeney remains steadfast in her belief that she is in control of her choices. Expressing pride in her work on Euphoria, Sweeney doesn't intend to stop performing nude as long as it serves the artistic need. Her confident approach aims to foster open and respectful conversations about nudity in the TV and film industry. In the case of Game of Thrones, the show became infamous for its explicit content, including nudity. Natalie Emmanuel, who portrayed Missandei, faced challenges portraying vulnerability on screen. While her character received acclaim, Emmanuel set boundaries regarding nudity in her career, emphasizing her discomfort with certain levels of explicit scenes. Emilia Clarke, who played Daenerys in Game of Thrones, experienced a transformative journey in her career. Despite gaining worldwide recognition and numerous awards, Clarke initially felt blindsided by the nudity required for her role. As one of the highest-paid actors on television, she learned to assert herself and become more comfortable with nude scenes over time. She explained that as the television series progressed, she gained more confidence in standing up for her own privacy. Clarke has easily secured jobs since her time on Game of Thrones and has become selective in accepting roles. When offered the leading role in 50 Shades of Grey, she turned it down without regrets, expressing her desire to avoid another intensely nude role that could impact how the public perceived her career. When thinking of Meg Ryan, the popular image is likely from her successful romantic comedies in the 1990s, such as When Harry Met Sally, Sleepless in Seattle, and You've Got Mail. However, in 2003, Ryan took on a role in Jane Campion's erotic thriller In the Cut, which polarized her fans due to a graphic nude scene. Despite some backlash, Ryan enjoyed filming the movie but was uncertain about how to handle the public's response. She took a break from the limelight before returning to independent films and making her directorial debut in 2015. Meg Ryan's career in the 1990s established her as the queen of romantic comedies, but in 2003, her role in the Cut marked a turning point with a controversial nude scene. Ryan faced backlash, but ultimately enjoyed the filming experience. She took a hiatus from Hollywood, later returning for independent films and directing her first movie in 2015. Halle Berry's career took off in the 1990s, and in 2001, she embraced a topless scene in Swordfish to assert her character's independence. Berry faced scrutiny but continued with a fully nude scene in Monsters Ball, winning an Academy Award for Best Actress. The response highlighted the unequal scrutiny of attractive women in Hollywood. Margot Robbie's rise to stardom began with The Wolf of Wall Street in 2013, featuring a notable nude scene. Initially uncomfortable with nudity, Robbie used tequila shots to ease into such scenes. Despite early challenges, Robbie's career success suggests that being open from the start can be beneficial. Kate Winslet's iconic nude scene in Titanic garnered significant public attention and scrutiny, leading to body shaming and ongoing challenges. Winslet continued to appear in nude scenes but faced persistent criticism, relying on her own confidence to navigate Hollywood's pressures. Helen Mirren, a highly acclaimed actress, commenced her career in theater and film during the late 1960s. She solidified her iconic status with successful films like The Long Good Friday in the 1980s. However, prior to her breakthrough roles in productions such as The Queen, Elizabeth I, and Prime Suspect, Mirren was reluctantly perceived as a sex symbol. In an interview with the Daily Mail, she highlighted the challenges of navigating an industry still predominantly controlled by men, leading to uncomfortable situations. Mirren acknowledged the exploitation she faced in explicit films like Caligula, but emphasized the importance of pushing her boundaries. Similarly, Daniel Radcliffe, known for his role as the boy who lived in the Harry Potter series, has actively sought diverse roles to break free from the Potter mold. Radcliffe, in an interview with The Guardian, clarified that the inclusion of nudity in his roles was not a deliberate career choice, but a consequence of the roles that interested him. Despite being aware of the reputation it might create, Radcliffe emphasized the organic nature of his career choices. Australian actor Greta Scacchi, working in Hollywood in the late 1980s and early 1990s, felt that going nude was a necessary step to succeed in the industry. Despite facing conflicts on film sets, including a disagreement with director Robert Altman during The Player, Scacchi maintained her identity as an actor.
In her 60s now, Scacchi no longer faces demands for nudity, but struggled for years not to be pigeonholed into a specific acting style.
Sharon Stone, reflecting on her role in Basic Instinct in a 2021 Vanity Fair article, acknowledged the film's impact on her career. Stone faced challenges, including harassment and deceptive practices during the filming of explicit scenes. Despite encountering difficulties, Stone persisted and emphasized the importance of her work in paving the way for women in the industry. Eva Mendes, who stepped out of the acting spotlight after Ryan Gosling's directorial debut Lost River, faced attention early in her career for her looks, especially after semi-nude scenes in Training Day. Mendes expressed her capability to exude sexuality in her roles, but stressed that it is not her sole talent. Despite the initial scrutiny, Mendes has continued to pursue both comedic and dramatic projects, emphasizing her determination, sensitivity, and humor in addition to her physical appearance. For more than 10 years, Ewan McGregor has been one of the few male Hollywood actors who frequently appears nude on screen. Since gaining fame in 1996, with Trainspotting, McGregor has been open about his willingness to do nude scenes, considering it less significant than others perceive. He mentioned to The Telegraph that while he's comfortable with nudity, if it fits the scene, he has declined such scenes when he deems them unnecessary.
McGregor's notable nude moments include films like Velvet Goldmine and Trainspotting, but the majority of his on-screen nudity comes from the 1996 erotic drama The Pillow Book.
Despite reaching the age of 40 in 2011, McGregor has been attempting to distance himself from his nude reputation, especially with younger actresses, prioritizing their comfort on set. Angelina Jolie, despite having parents in the entertainment industry, wasn't shielded from exploitation during her early career. At 17, she was cast in Cyborg 2, where the director Michael Schroeder bypassed regulations to include a nude scene. Jolie, despite initial discomfort, later embraced nudity in films like The Good Shepherd, Foxfire, Taking Lives, Gia, Original Sin, and By the Sea. However, after a double mastectomy, Jolie became more reluctant to do explicit scenes and now insists on nudity only when essential to the story.
Brooke Shields faced exploitation from a young age, starting with modeling at 11 months old and appearing nude at 12 in Pretty Baby.
The mistreatment continued with explicit scenes in The Blue Lagoon and Endless Love, where the director physically hurt her for the desired effect. Despite these experiences, Shields, in her practical outlook, doesn't see herself as exploited, emphasizing the business aspect of her career. Eva Green made her debut in The Dreamers, a film that kickstarted her career but raised concerns from her parents and agent due to its explicit content.
Green, however, defended her choice, stating her love for the story.
She felt shocked after watching the film and became more selective about nude scenes in her later career, resisting an out-of-place nude scene in Casino Royale. In the 90s, Elizabeth Berkley faced controversy when transitioning from the teen sitcom Saved by the Bell to the erotic drama Showgirls. The film, receiving an NC-17 rating, generated harsh criticism, and director Paul Verhoeven later apologized for the impact on Berkley's career. Reflecting on the experience, Berkley expressed the pain of being ridiculed for taking creative risks at a time when the public was less progressive. Alexandra Daddario's unexpected fame came from a nude scene in HBO's True Detective. Although she initially didn't see the role as major, the scene garnered significant attention, leading to more opportunities in her career. Daddario, grateful for the exposure, has since taken lead roles in series like The White Lotus and Mayfair.